I was 16 when my parents decided that I needed extra help with my studies. My grades were falling, and the final exams were only a few months away. So they hired a home tutor, a quiet man named Mr. Raymond. He was in his early 30s, tall, and always wore simple clothes. His face looked calm, almost too calm. The first day he came to teach me, he smiled politely and said, "Don't worry, Emma, we will work together. You will do well." His voice was soft, and I immediately felt comfortable. He taught me English and science, and I was surprised at how patiently he explained every topic. Even difficult chapters suddenly felt easy. My confidence slowly started growing, but soon, I began noticing something unusual about him. Every day, exactly at 6 p.m., he would check his phone and become nervous. Sometimes he paused in the middle of the lesson and stared at the wall, as if remembering something painful. His smile would fade, and his eyes would become dark and empty. Once, when I asked him if he was okay, he quickly said, yes, I'm fine. Let's continue." But he was not fine. One evening, after a long class, he forgot his notebook on the table. I picked it up to give it back, but a small photo slipped out. It was an old picture of a woman and a little boy. The woman looked happy, but the boy was crying. On the back of the photo, there were 2 words written in shaky handwriting. "I'm sorry." I felt a strange feeling in my chest. Who were they? Why did he keep this photo? Why say sorry? The next day he came for class, and for the first time, I saw real sadness in his eyes. He noticed that I had his notebook. "You found the photo, didn't you?" he asked quietly. I nodded. For a moment, he looked like he wanted to walk away, but then he sighed deeply and sat down. "Emma," he said, "there is something I never tell anyone, something I regret every single day." His voice trembled. "That woman in the photo. She was my wife, and the boy, my son." I felt shocked. He had never mentioned having a family. He continued, "I used to work all the time. I wanted to earn more, buy a bigger house, give them everything. But in my greed, I forgot the most important thing, being with them. One night, I was late again. They were crossing the road to come meet me. There was an accident." He stopped speaking, unable to continue. My heart tightened. "The driver survived." "They didn't," he whispered. For a few seconds, the room felt silent and heavy. He looked at his hands as if they were stained with guilt. "I wasn't there for them, Emma. I wasn't a good husband or a good father." Since that day, I decided I would spend my life teaching children, helping them, guiding them. Maybe this is my way of saying sorry every day. I felt tears in my eyes. I had never imagined my simple.com tutor carried a wound so deep. "Mr. Raymond," I said softly, "you're a good teacher. You're helping me, and maybe many others. Your past was painful, but your present is meaningful." For the first time, he smiled, a real smile, touched with sadness but also with hope. From that day, something changed in our classes. He taught me not just English or science, but life lessons. He said things like, "Time is the most precious gift. People don't need perfect things, they need you. Say sorry before it's too late." Slowly, I became one of the top students in my class. When my final exams came, he stayed extra hours to help me revise. My parents were proud, but only I knew the true reason behind my progress. One evening, after my results were announced, Mr. Raymond said he had something important to tell me. "I'm leaving this city," he said. My heart dropped. "Why?" "I think it's time for me to move on, to forgive myself." I felt both happy and sad. He had become more than a tutor. He was a mentor, a guide, a silent warrior fighting his own battles. Before he left, he gave me the photo I had seen earlier. "Keep this," he said. "Let it remind you to love your people while they are here. Promise me one thing, never ignore those who care about you." I nodded with tears in my eyes. He smiled and walked away, and I knew I might never see him again. But his lessons stayed with me forever. Years later, whenever life felt heavy, I remembered his words. I remembered the man who carried a dark secret and still chose to bring light into other people's lives. And every time I passed the photo on my desk, I whispered the same words, written on its back, "I'm sorry." But I also added something he never had the chance to say: "I forgive you."